The biting chill of a Michigan winter can often mask the horrors that lie beneath the pristine white blanket of snow. It was in the dead of winter, in a small Michigan town nestled amidst the frozen beauty of the Great Lakes state, that a chilling truth was unearthed, a tragedy that would haunt the community for a quarter of a century before justice finally, haltingly, arrived. This is the story of Janet Chandler, a young woman whose life was brutally stolen, and the long, arduous path to bring her killers to account. Janet Chandler was a bright, vibrant 22-year-old woman, with a life full of promise. Her friends remember her as kind, warm, and full of life. She had dreams, hopes for the future, and a network of people who loved and cherished her. Janet was simply living her life, working at a local diner where her radiant smile was a familiar sight to regulars, and enjoying the simple pleasures of being young. She dreamed of perhaps one day opening her own small boutique, a place filled with unique treasures and a welcoming atmosphere. But that all came to a sudden and horrific end on a night that began with the illusion of celebration. On the night of December 10th, 1991, Janet was invited to a surprise party held by a group of security guards at a local bar. The atmosphere in this particular establishment was often boisterous, a common haunt for those who worked the late shifts, providing a fleeting escape from the mundane. What should have been a night of celebration and fun turned into a nightmare. The details of what transpired that night are difficult to recount, the brutality almost unbearable. Janet was subjected to a vicious attack, a brutal assault that involved rape and torture. Her attackers, the very people entrusted with safeguarding the public, had instead become instruments of unimaginable cruelty. The chilling irony was that these men, who were supposed to be protectors, were instead predators hiding in plain sight. After the savage attack, Janet's body was disposed of in a chilling manner. Her lifeless form was left out in the harsh Michigan winter, eventually buried beneath a thick layer of snow. The vast, empty fields surrounding the town, often beautiful in their stark winter landscape, became a silent tomb. It wasn't until a few days later, as a snowplow driver diligently cleared the roads, his machine biting into the frozen earth, that the grim discovery was made. Janet Chandler's frozen body was found, a stark testament to the depravity she had suffered, the snow-covered landscape a cruel contrast to the vibrant life that had been extinguished. The case of Janet Chandler remained dormant for an agonizing 25 years. Time ticked on, seasons changed from the biting cold to the warmth of summer and back again, and lives went on. Yet the specter of Janet's murder lingered, a painful reminder of the injustice that had been allowed to fester. Her family, particularly her devoted mother, Agnes, and her siblings, carried the unbearable weight of her absence. They never stopped seeking answers, their hope a flickering flame against the darkness. The community, too, felt the scar of this unsolved crime, a shadow cast over their once peaceful existence. They never gave up, their perseverance a testament to the enduring power of love and the human need for closure. The painstaking work of the investigators, led by dedicated detectives who refused to let Janet's memory fade, began to yield results. Crucial evidence, which had been meticulously gathered and preserved all those years ago, was re-examined with fresh eyes. In the quiet hum of forensic laboratories, the advancements in technology offered a new glimmer of hope. New DNA testing, a sophisticated tool unavailable at the time of the murder, provided a significant breakthrough. This advanced forensic technology, born from years of scientific innovation, slowly began to peel back the layers of silence and deceit, revealing the identities of those who had orchestrated Janet's murder. The evidence, once elusive, was now overwhelming, a silent witness speaking volumes from the past. Finally, the long-awaited moment arrived. 6 individuals, all of whom had been security guards at the time of Janet's murder, were arrested and charged with her rape and murder. The names of the accused sent shockwaves through the community. These were men who, years earlier, had been seen as pillars of the community, entrusted with the safety of others. They were neighbors, familiar faces, men who had walked these very streets under the guise of lawfulness. Now, they stood accused of the ultimate betrayal, their former positions of trust transformed into a dark irony. The arrests brought a surge of emotions, a bittersweet relief for Janet's loved ones, a simmering anger at the years of waiting, and a renewed. As the legal proceedings commenced, the details of the crime were once again brought into the harsh light of day. The evidence presented in court, painstakingly pieced together, painted a devastating picture of the events that had transpired that night. The testimony of witnesses, some of whom had bravely come forward after decades of silence, combined with the irrefutable DNA evidence, left little doubt as to the guilt of the accused. The trial became a focal point for the community, a cathartic, albeit agonizing, chance to collectively confront the horror that had been inflicted upon them and to bear witness to the truth. The prosecution faced a difficult task. They had to bring these men to justice after a delay of a quarter of a century. The witnesses were older, their memories faded by the passage of time, and the sharpness of certain details had dimmed. The defense, naturally, sought to exploit these vulnerabilities. However, the prosecution teams, led by determined prosecutors, persevered with remarkable tenacity. They managed to weave together the fragments of evidence, the chilling testimonies, and the damning scientific findings into a compelling narrative. They used all of the techniques available to them to reconstruct what had happened, meticulously building a case that could withstand the test of time and legal scrutiny. Over the course of the trial, the accused security guard's cold-hearted, calculated brutality was revealed in stark detail. Their actions were not born of a moment of madness, but of a prolonged and deliberate campaign of violence. They had not only taken Janet's life, but had also cruelly violated her dignity and her person. The revelations were deeply painful, reopening old wounds and reminding everyone of the devastating loss that had been inflicted upon a young life and her grieving family. But they also served as a potent reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the unwavering, unyielding pursuit of justice, even when faced with the darkest aspects of human nature. The verdict, when it finally came, was a complex mixture of relief and profound tragedy. After years of waiting, of uncertainty, and of enduring pain, the jury found the 6 men guilty of the murder of Janet Chandler. They were all sentenced to lengthy prison terms, finally paying for their heinous crimes, their freedom extinguished as Janet's had been so brutally taken. The convictions brought a measure of closure to Janet's family and friends, a sense that her story, though marked by unspeakable horror, would not end in silence. But the wounds would forever remain, a testament to the irreplaceable void left by her absence. The victory of justice had come at an incredibly high cost, a heavy price paid in years of sorrow and struggle. The case of Janet Chandler is a stark reminder of the human capacity for evil and the devastating, far-reaching impact of violence. It is a story that chills the bone and breaks the heart. Yet, it is also a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of justice, no matter how long it takes. The impact on the community has been lasting, a collective trauma that has reshaped their understanding of safety and trust, and will continue to resonate for generations to come. Adding a layer to the already complex nature of Janet Chandler's case, consider the heartbreaking resolution to another cold case that captivated national attention. Across the country, in Austin, Texas, investigators were closing in on the infamous yogurt shop murders. These cases had been cold for decades, a source of immense pain and unanswered questions for the victims' families. The murders of 4 teenage girls, Amy Ayers, Eliza Thomas, and sisters Jennifer and Sarah Harbison, had horrified the community and sent ripples of fear far beyond its borders. The details of the crime were disturbing, a brutal act of violence against the most vulnerable. The victims were young, innocent, and vibrant, their lives brimming with potential and promise. They had their whole lives ahead of them, dreams waiting to be realized, futures waiting to unfold. The news of Robert Brasher's involvement, albeit posthumously, brought a sense of grim relief. After years of uncertainty, the families could finally understand that a monster, a serial killer, was behind these horrific acts. The knowledge, though painful and tinged with the continued sorrow of their loss, provided an answer, a crucial piece of the puzzle that began the long and difficult process of healing. The yogurt shop murders, like Janet Chandler's case, highlight the importance of persistence, the transformative power of technological advancements in forensic science, and the enduring pursuit of justice. The cases of Janet Chandler and the yogurt shop murders share a tragic thread: the brutal violation of innocent lives and the long, arduous, and often heartbreaking path to justice. Both cases underscore the importance of never giving up hope, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, and the unwavering dedication of those who refuse to let victims be forgotten. They also remind us of the profound and lasting impact of such tragedies, the lingering pain felt by families and communities long after the perpetrators are, finally, brought to account. The story of Janet Chandler, like so many true crime cases, is not just about the crime itself. It is about the profound resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity, the unwavering dedication of those who seek justice against all odds, and the enduring human search for closure. While the passage of time can never fully heal the deep wounds of loss, the resolution of these cases, however delayed, offers a glimmer of hope, a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, and even after decades of waiting, the truth will eventually prevail.